Assalamualaikum everyone. Today I'll be doing February March 2021 paper 1. Question number 14. I have done question 1 till 13 in the previous videos, and I'll drop down the link in the description of the previous videos so you can watch those as well. So let's get started. And the first question, so basically question number 14, it says which row correctly describes one property of barium and one property of barium oxide. Alright, so we know that down the group, alright, so we know of group 2 oxides, down the group the reactivity increases. You need to memorize this, alright. Of the oxides down the of group 2 metals and group 2 oxides down the group, the reactivity increases, alright. So as it is lowest in the group, the effervescence will be rapid. Now why will it be rapid? Because basically Ba plus H2O, what forms? BaO plus H2, right? So when the reactivity is increasing, the hydrogen formed will be faster. The hydrogen will be formed faster as compared to the rest of the upper group 2 elements. So it will be rapid. Now coming on to a barium oxide. So when barium oxide is added to water, barium oxide plus water, barium hydroxide is formed. Barium hydroxide, which is +2. So if we ionize these, since these are in water, they will be ionized. So Ba +2 plus OH minus and 2 of these, right? So pH of the solution now depends upon the hydrogen ions or the hydroxide ions. So over here hydroxide ions are present. Because they are forming at a faster rate, because it is more reactive, the more hydrogen ions, more hydroxide ions will be formed, and the more the hydroxide ions, it will be a stronger base, and stronger base means closer to 14. So 1 to 14 pH, closer to 14 is strong base, and closer to 1 is strong acid. So the answer would be D. Now moving on to, please excuse the noises coming from outside. Now question number 15, an anhydrous white salt Z is heated strongly for 30 minutes, alright. तो white salt है और heat strongly हो रहा है, ठीक है. So let's see, carbonates जो होते हैं उसमें क्या क्या बनता है? Oxides बनते हैं, element oxides, for example XX और element ले लो, और CO2 निकलता है. But in nitrates, when it is heated strongly, मतलब decomposition ही हो रही होती है. So metal oxide, NO2 and O2. These are the products when a metal nitrate is decomposed, and these are the products when a metal carbonate is decomposed. So a mixture of gases is given off in both of these decompositions. The gases are given off. The solid remaining in the test tube is then dissolved in a small volume of hydrochloric acid. Alright, so basically this is the solid remaining, the metal oxides. It is soluble in hydrochloric acid, which means that it is an alkali basic hydroxide, right? So the addition of a few drops of dilute sulfuric acid causes a white precipitate to form. So we know that 3 sulfates are insoluble. So barium sulfate, barium, lead sulfate, and barium, lead sulfate, and barium sulfate, lead sulfate. I cannot remember the third one, but these two are for sure insoluble sulfates. Alright, and over here only barium is given. So these two are the answers. Now we have to figure out if it's a carbonate or a nitrate. Now a mixture of gases is given off. So from this we can figure out it is nitrogen two gases are given off, because over here only one gas is given off and over here there are two gases, a mixture of gases, right? And that is it, I guess. So the solid remaining is then dissolved in a small volume of barium, a small volume of dilute hydrochloric acid, which means barium oxide plus HCl. So this is an alkaline solution. Barium hydroxide is an alkaline solid, so it is soluble in dilute hydrochloric acid. Even though this is also alkaline, but I think this is the keyword over here. Right, now moving on, it says chlorine gas is please wait. Chlorine gas is reacted with aqueous sodium hydroxide. ठीक हो गया. कोल्ड है कि hot, अच्छा वो given है. All right. The oxidation number of chlorine changes from 0 to -1, also 0 to +1. Now अच्छा ठीक है. क्लोराइड सिल्वर सॉल्ट है क्लोराइड के साथ, सो इट इज़ ऑब्वियसली वाइट, बिकॉज येलो तब होता है जब जब आयोडीन हो. आई एम सॉरी, if it's bromine then it will be cream color. So it's A or C. Now we have to check the oxidation states by writing the equation for cold and hot. So what are the reactions? Let's write the cold one first. NaOH plus Cl2 NaCl plus NaClO. Alright, so with cold NaClO is formed and the rest of the products and reactants are same, but in hot concentrated, instead of NaClO, NaClO3 is formed. So this is the only main difference which can be visually seen. Other are the difference in oxidation state. So let's take a look. So NaR2 1 2, so right over here 2, and first we balance all the elements except hydrogen and oxygen. So Cl2 1 2 Cl2, the elements are balanced. And now let's have a look at hydrogen. 2 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, and oxygen, 2 oxygen and 2 oxygen. All right. Now this is 0 and this is -1, because this is +1 and we need an overall charge. And over here this is -2, this is +1, and we know that the overall charge is 0. So Na ka +1 plus we don't know the charge on the oxidation number on chlorine, so X, and we know on oxygen is -2, and equals to 0 because the overall charge is 0. So X is equal to -2 plus 1 is -1, and it goes on to the another side, so it's +1. So -1, 0 to -1, and 0 to +1. So A is the answer. We don't need to look at this one because this is being fulfilled over here. because in NaClO3, which is the product of hot concentrated, this is -2, this is +1, +1 plus x minus 2 into 3 is 6, and the overall charge is 0. So x minus 5 is equal to 0, x is equal to +5. So the overall so the changes in oxidation numbers are 0 to -1 and 0 to +5. So it cannot be hot concentrated. Now let's move on to the next question. Alright, so over here it says when concentrated sulfuric acid reacts with sodium iodide, that the products include sulfur, iodine, H2S, this is H2S, and this is SO2. Which statement is correct? Okay, so the options say in the B part, it says iodide ions are stronger oxidizing agents than sulfate ions. So we know that iodide ions are not stronger oxidizing agents, instead they are stronger reducing agents. ठीक है, और बाकी ऑप्शंस में यही वो पूछ रहा है, वो बता रहा है कि या तो ऑक्सीडाइज हो रहा है या रिड्यूस हो रहा है. तो इफ़ वी लुक एट द रिएक्शंस, वेट, in the reactions columns it says हर जगह it says कि reduction of H2SO4, reduction of H2SO4, reduction of H2SO4 ब्रोमाइड और आयोडाइड के कॉलम्स में. ठीक है, तो इट मीन्स कि दोनों में रिडक्शन ही हो रही है, चाहे जो मर्जी हो रहा हो. ठीक है, बट एंड यू नीड टू मेमोराइज दिस होल टेबल बिकॉज ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. ठीक है, और इसकी इक्वेशंस भी सब याद करनी है. ठीक है, और इस वाले टेबल को आप बहुत अच्छी तरह याद कर लो क्योंकि इसके क्वेश्चंस बहुत सारे आते हैं. ओके, सो द ऑप्शन से हाइड्रोजन सल्फाइड इज़ अ पार्ट ऑफ अ रिडक्शन रिएक्शन, दिस इज़ करेक्ट. बी हमने पहले ही बता दिया क्या गलत है. और सी सेज सल्फर एटम्स फ्रॉम द सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड आर बोथ ऑक्सीडाइज एंड रिड्यूस. सो वी नो के सिर्फ रिड्यूस होते हैं, अभी हमने टेबल में देखा, और ऑक्सीडाइज नहीं होते. सेम गोज़ फॉर ऑप्शन डी, जिसमें वो कह रहा है कि सल्फर एटम्स फ्रॉम सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड आर ऑक्सीडाइज, दे आर नॉट ऑक्सीडाइज, दे आर रिड्यूस्ड. नाउ लेट्स मूव ऑन. NO, NO2, CO and unburned hydrocarbons are present in the exhaust gases of internal combustion. Okay. This is what happens to each compound in the catalytic converter. So what happens in the catalytic converter is CO plus NO gives us N2 plus CO2. All right. So let's check these two first. CO is -2 and +2 and -2 plus 4. So carbon monoxide is what? Carbon is losing electrons, which means it is being oxidized, so it is either B or C. Now we need to know what is happening to nitrogen monoxide. So -2 plus 2, and over here it's 0, so it is gaining electrons, which means it is being reduced. So C is the answer. You don't need to know the rest of the two reactants, basically what is happening to them. Methylamine CH3NH2 has similar chemical properties to ammonia. Methylamine reacts with hydrogen chloride. Okay, so this means that this compound and this compound has similar chemical properties. Reacts with hydrogen chloride to form white crystalline salt. This is the salt. A sample of methylammonium chloride is heated with excess aqueous sodium hydroxide. What are the products? Now this is a methyl ammonium chloride, and what happens to the what are the products when they are reacted with NaOH? So plus NaOH, right? So let's see, if NH3 is reacted with HCl, so NH4Cl is formed, right? And if NH4Cl is reacted with NaOH, what is formed? NaCl, NaCl, NH3 and H2O, I guess. So NaCl. Now if it is reacting with methyl ammonium chloride, so NH3Cl plus NaOH, so NaCl, let me see, so CH3NH2, which is methylamine, and water. So NaCl, this hydrogen is being removed to form water with OH, so H2O, NaCl, H2O, let's see, NaCl, H2O, NaCl and H2O. So this is reducing to 2, so NH3 and CH3 and H2O is methylamine, so D is the answer. Let's move on to the next question. Now the structures of citric acid and isocitric acid are shown. How many chiral acids does each possess? Now what are chiral centers? The carbon which has 4 different groups of atoms, groups present on each side. So if you need to, you can either draw this. So COO, I'm starting from here. CH2, these are the hydrogens. I won't be drawing the hydrogens separately. COOH and CH2OH. Now let's see if there are any chiral centers. This is not a chiral center because only 3 groups are attached, 2 similar groups, 2 similar groups, 3 groups, 2 similar groups, 3 groups, so 0. Now CH2, C double bond OOH, let's draw this over here, CH CHOH. So this is the structural displayed formula. So 3, 2 similar, not 2 similar, and 4, 2 different. So it is 2 because this is also a chiral center and this is also a chiral center. So the answer is 20D. तो 2-methyl butane 2-ol is ब्यूटेन पहले बना लो, फिर 2-ol इज जो सेकेंड कार्बन है उस पर हाइड्रोक्साइल ग्रुप है, और 2 methyl पे ही, मतलब सेकेंड कार्बन पे ही एक और methyl है, विच मीन्स दिस इज़ अ टर्शरी कार्बन, टर्शरी अल्कोहल. वाई? बिकॉज इस कार्बन के साथ 3 कार्बन्स और अटैच्ड हैं. सो दिस लीव्स अस विद डी, जो यही आंसर होएगा. बट लेट्स सी. सो ब्यूटेन 2 पे एक हाइड्रोक्साइल बिकॉज ब्यूटेन 2-ol है, और 3 methyl 1 2 3 3 methyl पे 3rd कार्बन पे मिथाइल एडेड है, विच मीन्स दिस इज अ सेकेंडरी कार्बन. वाई? बाय बिकॉज ये इस वाले कार्बन पे इसे सिर्फ 2 कार्बन अटैच्ड है. सो डी इज द आंसर.